Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Morning, Tiz.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday, DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy.
Peace, Ted.
Let's jump right into it. Let's talk Nikki Haley.
Yeah, once again, it wouldn't be campaign season if nobody was bringing up slavery and racism. So Nikki Haley was asked on Fox News if she belonged to a racist party, but she answered about racism in America. Take a listen.
Are you a racist party?
We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country. Our goal is to make sure that today is better than yesterday. Are we perfect? No. I know I faced racism when I was growing up, but I can tell you today is a lot better than it was then.
Now, her campaign affirmed her statement and said that America has always had racism, but America has never been a racist country. So a little bit of contradiction. If you've always had racism, how can it not be a racist country?
You know what's so interesting about that whole exchange? We've heard that before. You know, Senator Tim Scott, said that a few years ago, and guess who agreed with him? Vice President Kamala Harris. Guess who also agreed with him? My OG, Jim Clyburn. And I remember Vice President Kamala Harris saying that, America's not a racist country, but we need to talk openly about the racism in America. So it's kind of the same rhetoric.
It's a racist country. I mean, it's
but I'm just saying how it's just the same rhetoric. I just don't, it's just strange to me how we don't hold everybody to the same level of accountability, because the problem is no politician knows how to talk about race honestly in this country. Yeah, none of them, regardless of what side they're on.
That's right. And my confusion is every year you go, come on, candidates, let's get it together. That should be the first thing in training. Shout out to my training, Push the Line training. We train about 500 people every year to run for office. Maybe they just need to start knowing how to answer this question right out the gate. Ron DeSantis also was asked about her comments on CNN, and this is what he had to say.
Do you agree that the U.S. has never been a racist country?
Well, the U.S. is not a racist country, and we've overcome things in our history. I think the founding fathers, they established a set of principles that are universal. Now, they may not have been universally applied at the time, but I think they understood what they were doing.
I don't understand why people are mad or scared to say it's a racist country. Of course, it's not back when my dad was in school, where he had to use different bathrooms and different water fountains, but it's still a racist country.
Listen, nobody talks about race honestly when the elected officials don't talk about race honestly, because a lot of Republicans are racist. And Democrats are just afraid to talk about race. Democrats advocate for anti-racist policies, but then they'll turn around and say things like America's not a racist country because they're afraid to turn off these hypothetical imaginary swing voters.
Mm-hmm. And just to be clear, as we know, there's some racism going on in the Democrat Party as well, but it's about the overtly racism that you see on the other side. Just make sure we put that point out there. Now,
it bothers me. Like when I hear somebody like Nikki Haley say that, I expect that from Republicans. Like it bothers me more when I hear Democrats say things like that, because you can't lay out all these examples of systemic racism and then turn around and say America isn't a racist country, because you just dismiss your own position.
Sure. But again, like you said, they're trying to make sure they don't upset
those hypothetical swing voters. Yep.
Right. That are not voting for you and keep telling you over and over they're not voting for you. Dr. Ben Carson also, he chimed in this week in Iowa, letting everybody know that, hey, we shouldn't be ashamed about America's history. So take a listen to that.
If there's anything unique about the United States and slavery, it's that we had so many people who were vehemently opposed to it that we fought a bloody civil war to get rid of the evil institution. And that's what we should teach our children. Our history is nothing to be ashamed of. There's good, there's bad, and there's ugly, as there is in every society inhabited by human beings, which is why we need a savior.
If you're a Republican or Democrat, if everybody in the Republican Party was unified and they all collectively said America is a racist country and it's our job to fix it, or if everybody in the Democratic Party was unified and they all collectively said America is a racist country and it's our job to fix it, it wouldn't be an issue. And it would be an honest conversation. But folks are scared to do that because they know nobody in the party will have their back. If a Republican says that, they know nobody in the party going to have their back. If a Democrat says that, they know nobody in the party going to have their back.
Mm-hmm. Did you, I wanted to just say again on Ron DeSantis, did you hear him say it's universal, the founding fathers meant for it to be universal, but it wasn't universal?
I'm going to be honest with you. I be tuning Ron DeSantis out.
Mm-hmm. You be tuning him out? Okay.
That's what you was playing just now?
Before Ben, yes, I played Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, I heard Ben. I didn't even hear the Ron
Just
thing.
totally tuned him out. Okay.
I didn't hear Ron at all. I can remember Ben saying we need a savior. I didn't hear Ron at all.
All right, well, that is front page news. Now, what are we talking about next hour, Tez?
Next hour, we're going to talk about AI. Charlamagne, you've mentioned many, many times how AI will be spreading misinformation during the campaign, and they said they're going to do something about it. And then just a quick update on the IRS and getting your taxes ready.
All right. Well, we'll see you in a little bit. Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. Whatever's on your mind, it doesn't matter what it is. Call us up right now. 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. What up, Tiz?
What's going on, DJ Envy? Good morning, Charlamagne the Guy, Breakfast Club family.
Let's jump right into it. Let's talk about ChatGPT.
So we've been talking about this. We've been talking about AI and how misinformation will be on the rise this year, in particular with elections in the 2024 election season. Now, they have decided to roll out a plan to prevent its tools from being able to spread misinformation as voters prepare to cast their ballots. It said it will ban people from using the technology to create chatbots that impersonate real candidates or governments to misrepresent how voting works or to discourage people from voting. It said that they will use more research to get this done. They understand that it will be very persuasive and powerful, and it will not allow users to build applications for the purposes of political campaigning or lobbying. Starting early this year, OpenAI said it will digitally watermark AI images that will be created so that you'll be able to tell if it is an AI image. This will permanently mark the content with information about its origin, making it easier to identify whether an image that appears elsewhere on the web was created by an AI tool.
I don't believe it. I got to see it to believe it. I really do. Because my thing
you don't
is,
believe what, that they'll do it?
I don't believe that they can watermark the stuff, because why don't they do that now with fake content?
Yeah, I don't think they can. I don't think they can either.
There's so much fake content out there now. Like, literally, it's so much fake content. How come they can't watermark it now?
And they have all these different things that they try. Like they have these machines that you could put into your, I guess, a ChatGPT type of forum where you can see if something is real or not, or there's things that you could tell if it's made up or not. But they'll find ways around it, like they find ways around everything.
Not to mention, humans don't care. Humans will still take some of those same watermarked AI stuff and present it as facts, right? I've already told y'all, in 2024, in 2024, the presidential election here, the presidential election in South Africa, this year is going to be so full of misinformation. And I know for a fact, I can't say I know for a fact, but I personally believe none of that stuff is going to work, because nobody cares about the truth and the lies more entertaining. And folks are not searching for truth. They're searching for content. They don't care about what that content is. It does, as long as it gets them engagement. So I can take those same watermarked AIs and still present them. Who's going to really be paying attention to the watermarks?
Nobody. But the sad thing about it is, even when people look things up, sometimes what they're looking up seems to be real and it's fake. So they think that they're actually doing the research, but they're researching things that don't exist or are not true. Right. Which is difficult, and it's hard to really get it. It's almost gonna have to get back to the old days of encyclopedia. And I know some of you are like, what the hell's an encyclopedia? But it has to be something where you honestly know it's real, because sometimes you Google things and it's not real.
Yeah, no, that was the point I was going to bring up. Even if they watermark it with a big stamp across it saying this is fake, they still are still going to believe it. Because again, remember, we talked about this yesterday. People want something to believe in, even if that's a lie. In addition to that, we know people don't read the entire article. They read the headline. We know people don't read the caption. They just look at the picture. So even with a big watermark, I would like to see the watermark, by the way, to at least try to do something. But ultimately, will it make a difference if people want to believe a lie?
And what happens when somebody takes a video, right? Like, somebody takes a video that we know is the truth. Like it's literally a factual thing that we all know, but they take that watermark and put "this is fake" on it. That's gonna make people be like, you could take that watermark and put it on anything.
That is true.
So people gonna stop believing the watermark. They gonna look at the watermark and say that's fake.
That's fake, yeah.
I'm telling you,
you'll be able to duplicate the watermark, I'm sure, somehow, some way.
I promise you, man.
It's all bad.
And at the
end of the day, I'm still a gardener on my Wikipedia.
Well, you are.
No, I'm not a gardener.
It's really over. You can't put the toothpaste back in the YouTube. It's really over. I'm telling you. I don't feel like none of this is going to work. But hey, man, I'm not mad at them for trying.
Yeah, at least they're trying. Well, I wanted to give a quick update on the IRS. Folks who are getting a return, start getting ready to get your taxes returned. Those who got to pay taxes always wait to the last minute, but those who want to get going, they will be accepting your IRS submissions January 29th. And I'm not going to start processing that right away, but they will be accepting it. They said that the annual incomes of people 79,000 or less will be able to file for free. So they'll start getting that information out. And the agency said it expects 128 million individual tax returns this year to be filed by the April 15th tax deadline.
Okay.
And then one other random health study. I haven't had a chance to do this in a while, but I love this kind of stuff. I'm a nerd. Did you know that men are more forgetful than women? It is a scientific fact. So I'm sure you guys always ask your wife to remember different things, and wanted to throw this out here that numerous studies dedicated to comparing the memory abilities of men and women consistently prove that men are more forgetful than women. A study published in the Quarterly Journal of Experimental Psychology hypothesized this is due to the varying brain structures of men and women. The hippocampus is a part of the brain associated with the memory, and it decreases faster in men than women.
Are we really forgetful, or we just pretend to forget?
Huh? What'd you say?
I think you do both.
Exactly.
What'd you say?
If you're hung, you can hear.
If you're hung, you can hear. All right. Well, that is your front page news. Thank you, Tez.
Absolutely.
And make sure you subscribe to Tesla and Figaro's podcast, The Straight Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, and follow at Tesla and Figaro on all social media platforms.
All right. When we come back, Anjanou Ellis and Ava DuVernay will be joining us. Their movie Origin premieres January 19th, and we're going to talk to them all about it. So
I don't think people realize how good this movie Origins is. If you've ever read the New York Times bestselling book Caste by Isabel Wilkerson, Origin is based on the book Caste. Mm-hmm. Well, not based on the book, but based on the book. We'll discuss.
Yeah, and we just have to say this. We have to support our own. Like, we have to support when we do these type of movies. We have to go. We have to support. If we can't, we got to buy a ticket. You know, you're talking about Color Purple that came out about a month ago. You talk about Book of Clarence that came out, a week ago?
Listen, everything you saying sound good, but these people ain't going to listen. These Negroes is not going to listen, okay? Color Purple made $55 million with a $140 million budget. Book of Clarence had a $40 million budget. It made $3 million this weekend. These Negroes ain't listening. We just talk.
Well, how Beyonce do? We supported Beyonce, right?
Oh, Beyonce ain't got no movie. Renaissance did good.
Renaissance
actually did better than both those movies.
Damn. All right, well, we'll talk to them when we come back, so don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.